Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Looks like things are going to work this morning. I'm able to go live. Facebook hasn't kicked me out. Managed to get out of the house and closer to the yard where I'm normally at. And it seems like we're going to be able to do this, but I'm going to need your help. I got to have a little sound check here. Let's see. Jeremy, tell me a little sound check here. Make sure that we're okay. Kind of need to know if the sound is all right. Good morning, Brent. Getting a good crowd on this morning. Let's see, who else do we see here? Vicky and who else? Good number of people. Good morning, Mac. Jeremy's on. Let's see. Good number of people today. Miss Betty, good to see you. Hoping okay. Good. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate that. I'll make sure the sound is okay. Don't want anybody to miss what we're talking about because I had a good friend, a really good friend, who did a live feed a couple of days ago, and he did the entire live feed, 15 minutes, amazing presentation, and no sound. So it was dead silent. Nobody got a chance to hear what he was talking about, and they just missed out. And so I talked to Lyndon later. He said, I just blew it. I had the sound shut off. And so he went back with an abbreviated version of that live feed. And that's usually what happens, is you either talk too much or don't say enough. And so that's not uncommon. I just want to make sure that everybody could hear me this morning. So this is what I want to talk about today. Yesterday I talked about the upcoming webinars, and I mentioned some of the webinars that I was working on and some things that we were doing, and talked about that just a little bit. And so good morning, Joanna. Good morning, Tony. So I wanted to make sure that you understood that I need you to do this. I need you to log in here. So I'm going to give you a gift if you'll do that. There's a couple of things that are there. The weekly webinars are if you get on that list, you'll be notified of the webinars that are coming up and the stuff that we're doing in that. Had an amazing live feed with Tanya Shipman on Saturday, in which we talked about shiny objects, and we talked about how people get lost in not doing things because they think that the next thing that comes out, the next thing that comes along, that's going to be the thing that's going to change their life, it's going to change their business, and that's just simply not true. So we talked about that on Saturday, and I'm going to do a webinar on shiny objects, because I think that we get caught up in this thing. Everybody's in the process of coming out with the next little twist on a piece of software or something like that. And believe me, I get that, because we're involved in that process, but not at the internet marketing level, which is really good, because too many times internet marketers spend all of their money on stuff that they don't really need. And you know, I purposely yesterday did the picture of what my studio looks like when I'm standing out here. Yeah, Jeremy, I get it. Standing out here in the yard where I do my webinars from, and now as the sun moves, I'll move further back, and we won't have as much noise sounding from that. But showed where I did that from, because you can take what you have and make it work. You know, I did more than 100 live feeds without using a tripod. I did all those live feeds sitting down. The reason why I did it sitting down is because I had one of those little sticky things that holds your phone up to your dashboard, and I had that on a wall tile sitting on the top of my desk on top of two boxes. That was my high tech process, and I did more than 100 live feeds like that. For a long time, I did live feeds when I had a tripod. I did them sitting down because I'm too tall for the tripod. And so I went and got 3 bricks, and I put the 3 bricks on the patio, and that's where I do them from. So using what you have, and that's what we're going to focus some attention on in these webinars. I think it's important that people use what they have. You have some unique gifts, talents, abilities to use what you have, so that what you have is the thing that you already got that. You know, don't be chasing after other stuff. Take what you have and use it to make a difference in your world. That's my whole point behind this webinar today. Make sure you sign up there so that you can get notified of the different webinar topics that are coming up, and I've given you a gift. So this is what will happen. You log in, you click on the link. You'll be taken to a brief little video at the top, and then an opportunity to be able to drop your email address there. Put your email address in there, and what happens next is that you're taken to a page that has another little video on it. And then what happens is down below that, and you don't have to watch the video, but there's also a survey there. You're exactly right, Jeremy. I'll finish this sentence, and I don't want to miss that because that's the point. All right. Down below the survey is a download link, and I've given you 10 habits, 10 things, 10 traits of highly successful people that are easy for you to mimic. Okay? These are things that you could do today and tomorrow and the next day that will help you to take the gifts and talents and abilities that you have, and that will teach you how to do the next thing. Okay? Very simple process, just 10 things, and if you practice those, it'll be amazing what happens to you. It really will. I promise you, it'll be amazing what happens when you do that. So that is the process here. Click on the link, put your email there, go to the next page. The next page down below that, you'll be able to download. You can take the survey. I'd really appreciate it if you did, but you can take the survey. But down below that, you'll be able to download the 10 traits of highly effective people that are easy for you to mimic. Now, let's go back to Jeremy's comment because it's perfect. In other words, don't let the stuff or the lack of it get in the way of getting after it, getting busy, getting it done. It's a good reminder, and we do need to be reminded of that often. My focus, and I love it because Saturday when I did the interview with Tanya, she was talking about Saturday about using what you've got. Using what you've got, which is a take off of my mantra, which is sell what you've got. Just don't let stuff get in the way to keep you from doing the next thing, to keep you from doing the right thing, to keep you from doing the important thing, to keep you from doing the valuable thing. Don't let that stuff get in the way. If I knew more, well, that's not a problem. You can know more, but don't let that hold you back. I listened this morning to a live feed from Tom, and Jeremy asked a question. The funny part of it is, Jeremy, in my Sales Superstar training program, I had just used your industry as an example on last week's video. I actually used that word for word, what I would say if I were you in that situation. And so that's really cool, okay? Using what you've got, and it really focused on that key factor, and I'll be glad to tell you that in private what it was that I said. So if you get a chance, hit me up and we'll talk about that, okay? That'll be kind of fun, and I'll enjoy that. All right, any other questions, comments, things that we can talk about this morning? But I really want you to understand what we're trying to do. We're getting out some information to you. I've got a couple of things that are in the works. I'll talk about one of them tomorrow on the Coffee Shop Show. We're doing a mastermind retreat in January. We're looking for a location for that. We found 2 places in Florida and 2 in East Tennessee. So it kind of depends on which of those 2 that we select. One of them is going to be on the beach in January, which is not a bad idea. Or the other one is in the hills in eastern Kentucky, which has to be one of the most gorgeous places on the planet. So, but we'll be doing that mastermind in January. I'll be looking forward to giving you more information about that tomorrow. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. I need your input. I need your comments as to which of those 2 locations you would prefer to go to, and you can help me with that. Help me to put that part of the mastermind together. The rest of that we've got mapped out, and it's going to be awesome. But we've got 2 awesome speakers that are going to be there, including myself, and so it'll be a good opportunity for you. Just want to share with you some of the things that are going on so that you can get plugged into what's happening, okay? All right, any questions before we go? I gave you a little moment there for questions, and we'll do that. Jeremy, that's a really, really good idea. Jeremy's message just popped up. I won't tell you all what it is, but we're going to talk about that one. That's a really, really good idea. So thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Anything else before I go? I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming and listening to me this morning. I'll see you tomorrow at the coffee shop.